Moin Leute, Lazy Lama hier. Wir stehen vor den heiligen Hallen des Studios von DeGuy, den wir heute ein bisschen interviewen werden. Schauen wir mal rein, was da so abgeht. Ja, hier wird schon fleißig was gemacht. Und ich sehe einen Guy und einen Falco. Gucken wir mal, was heute passiert, ne? So welcome everybody to the 26th episode of the Lazy Lama Podcast. And I'm sitting today with my good old friend Guy, better known as DeGuy, all around the world. But I'm happy to be here in your studio. It's so perfectly synchronized. It's a little bit weird for me today because one, we're doing this whole thing in English, and my English is always a little bit. But on the other hand,
mine too.
Yeah, no, you're better than that. And the other thing is this room. It's like, because it's a proper recording room, it's so weird that the voices really don't haul anywhere. So, but anyway, Guy,
welcome to my space, and I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here because we planned this interview for like ages, I think. Because
we always talk about it and nothing
always
happens.
Talked about it, and actually, like last time I also did this. I have my list of people that I wanted to interview, and you're on the first page. You're right here,
but way down.
Way down. Man. But this is not an order. It's just people like bam. I want to interview this guy and this guy and this guy, and you were the guy. So finally this happens, and my actual first question would just be, how are you doing? How's life treating you at the
moment?
Good,
I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been challenging the past few years, I'd say, and it's been great at the same time. Trying to take what life gives me and to make the best out of it. And this room is one of the good stuff that happened to me lately, or this studio.
How long do you have this studio now?
So I was actually at the top floor. And we moved down. So, like, after Corona started, I used to have a studio at home. But after Corona started, there were no shows, and I was like, I need to get an extra room. And then I found it, and so I had only this one room upstairs. And then we moved down here in January. So we have the whole floor, and we can do, like, proper recordings.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's actually a good segue, because like Corona, it's for you as a musician and also for you as a music producer, because you produce many different people, and of course yourself here. How did the Corona times made you work, life balance and everything?
Yeah, it's actually changed a lot because I used to live out of playing live shows. That was my main income and my main goal.
Yeah.
And since it wasn't possible, and I'm a person who always try to find whatever I can and like proceed with it, so I started like recording more. I always did, but it's also what I said. I need an extra room because people take it more serious when they have an extra room, you know. And so I started to work more with other bands and more with other people, work on their music and not only on my music. So my life became more studio than live shows. And now it's getting back to live shows, but it's still like not as easy as it was before Corona. And I still feel the effects, like it's challenging, and it brings, I don't know, maybe also it changes the way I see the world and the way I see things, and so it brings me to write maybe different texts and different influences.
Well, especially when you are working with different musicians in this holy halls, I could call them. For example, I know. Yeah, we have your first album here, Done, which was released in 2018.
Yeah.
Which was actually the first time I was confronted with your music, I would say.
But you knew me before this album, or you knew?
I knew you. That's actually a good question, because I know we met somehow because I went to your birthday party.
Right, I think that was the first time I met you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that was the time where you just had released this album.
Right.
And like was really
like
proud
2
of
months
yourself.
before.
And 2 months before, yeah.
Was I proud?
You were proud. You were really,
good.
really proud and showing
Good, I was
everybody. And
proud once in
well,
what
I
I
think
do.
not. It was such a nice experience, because I was like, okay, who's that guy? Okay, he's the guy. Oh, all right. oh, this is his album. Okay, cool. Well, what the fuck? I want to know this guy.
This album was for me. First of all, the first thing I ever did in music.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit basketball, and I was like, I know I'm gonna be a musician. I didn't know what it means, but I knew I have songs and I want to have them on record. So I went to a studio for 2 months actually.
Wow.
So because I knew the guys, that's good friends of mine. It's a long story, but a good friend of mine, which I helped start with music, became a music's expert, and then I was recording in his studio. So we had the studio for ourselves, and we didn't have like time limit. So we really did like 2 months straight working almost every day, a lot of hours working nights.
It's pretty short range for a complete album.
It's also, I don't know, because it's 2 months in the studio straight.
Yeah.
It's also
Really exhausting, right?
It's also a lot of time, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, people say it took them a year to make an album, but they weren't every day in the studio. And it takes a year, because after we finish this, then comes like the mixing, and then you want to exchange few stuff. Mm-hmm. But we had this 2 months in the studio. Yeah. And I didn't know nothing about music. I just knew how to play a little bit guitar, a little bit of harmonica, a little bit of, I don't know, but... and I learned everything, and it was for me like a university. I learned everything. I looked how they do stuff. I didn't just like, waited. I looked, okay, you put the mic here, and you put the cable here, and you put in this preamp, and I really learned out of it, and I learned so much out of it. So
you're basically self-taught when it goes about music production, or did you actually learn it on university or something?
No, I never learned anything the way you should learn it, which is a problem. But style. Yeah, I always been this way. It's not always easy, but that's actually the way I am, and I accept it. But I learn stuff my own way, so I also do it maybe later my own way, and I don't do everything maybe the way
other people do it.
You're supposed to do, but that's
But it works for you, right? That's the point.
Sometimes. I don't know. I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah. That's always the best part. At least you're trying. Yeah. Let's roll a little bit back, because for me it's also interesting to know a little bit from your backstory, because you are originally from Israel. Yeah. From Jerusalem, right? Yeah. So how was your childhood? How do you get in contact with music and with basketball? Because this was also a part of your life. And how did you actually get to Leipzig?
Okay, it's a lot of questions. I grew up in a village next to Jerusalem. And I grew up as a basketball player. I knew it's going to be my future, and that was my dream and my biggest passion. So I did this every day, whole day. But I also always had this passion for music. Yeah. And I was playing different stuff as a kid. I was playing a little bit piano. I always say my first instrument is the drums, because I think I was 9 when I first got to play, it more like it came from me. I want to play the drums, and my parents bought me this drum set, and that's like the first instrument I was really into, and for a longer period. Because with the piano it was, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And then, I don't know, like every kid, I learned a little bit of like flute. And it was always there in the background. But I never gave it enough room, or the room it should need, because I didn't have I needed to invest more time in basketball. So I was taking this like drum lessons once a week, but I didn't have time to practice because I practiced basketball. So then I decided to stop that at one point. And
how old were you back then?
So I was 9, 10, the first period. Then I got back to it with like 15, 16, where I was drumming a lot. And I think I started to learn guitar just from friends. Me and my friends, we used to go to the sea in Israel. We have a lot of sea. So we were sitting at the beach, maybe sometimes for a few days, and all of my friends used to play guitar. So they taught me like basic chords, and I was like sitting there, and then they show me, then you put your finger here. So I always played guitar, like I think since I was like 13. Just play guitar, but just a little bit. I never took it serious. It was just for fun thing. Yeah. And my grandfather, he got me this very nice Gibson guitar he got from somewhere, which also got stolen at one point because my house got robbed. It happens in Israel sometimes.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah. So like this, back and forth with the music all the time. And then yeah, it's a lot of questions you ask, so I don't know where to put my
to get the basic picture of a childhood. So you had like basketball as a passion, you had music as a passion, you lived next to Israel, next to Jerusalem, and then
I was always visiting concert, and I was very into live music. I even used to like sell ice cream or beer in big shows. Okay. So I got to see, I don't know, Black Eyed Peas and Roger Waters and stuff like this for free. Okay. Because I was just like, I don't know, selling beer or whatever, and I got to see all those shows for free. And I remember sometimes we used to be at those shows and help like to organize everything after the show, and then we were driving back straight to school. We were like coming, I don't know, at 6 o'clock in the morning. We had to wait like 1 or 2 hours, and then school already started.
Whoa, heavy.
So I did that, and music was always like there for me. Especially also there is this basketball music connection, which is a lot of time hip hop, which also went back and forth with because I found it cool, but sometimes because I have this rebel in me, which said like, I don't have to listen to hip hop just because I play basketball. I listen to something else. I listen to rock, a lot of classic rock, and so I also have this connection, basketball music.
And actually, one of your influences actually were Ray Charles, right?
Yeah, as a little kid when I was 6, I really had like Ray Charles CDs. And also used to see those Bolivian musicians. They tour around the world and play street music. As a really little kid, maybe with like 5, 4, I loved it, and I bought their cassettes. And I used to play those cassettes in my room. So this is the first 2 like music influences that I really remember that like I decided to listen to. I didn't get it from my brother or whatever. It was like, I want to listen to Ray Charles. I find it like super cool.
Awesome. Especially at that young age. Yeah. Okay, and how did you actually got to Leipzig? Like, how many years did you live here, and why?
So I was playing basketball, and I got to play in Germany, in 2nd division, and it was like I was playing basketball, but music always got a bigger place in my heart, and after playing one season, I was playing 4 seasons in Germany after another, and I missed home a lot. So I went home and I was playing in Israel for 1 season, and I already had the thought of like quitting basketball at that time. But I wasn't really sure. I really want to quit forever, and I didn't want to, I don't know, quit and then go back and like be uncertain about it. So I decided to give it another shot, and I had this offer playing here in Leipzig, and I knew Leipzig is a nice city for making music. So I thought it would be maybe good opportunity to play here 3rd division. In Israel I played 2nd, and it was for me like maybe I can do it as a job, and at the side from the side like to start this like music career at the same time. So I came here and I knew the coach, and I thought it would be nice, but it wasn't. I mean, Leipzig was nice. Also took me time here to find myself, to be honest, but basketball wise it was awful. The team wasn't good, the management was a disaster. And like really bad organized, and it's really hard to work with your body.
Yeah.
And you have to bring your best performance with your body when your heart is not in the right place. And I really didn't feel like keep doing it. And then I actually got injured. So it was a lot of frustration, a lot of like, I don't know what I'm doing here feeling. And then I got injured, and
that was like your way out ticket at that point, right?
Yeah, which was also hard, was super sad. I remember I was driving from Halle, from a shoulder specialist, and he basically told me that that I won't be able to play basketball anymore unless I'm doing this operation. And I was talking to different doctors. Some say I don't have to make this operation. I knew, I'm not sure I will keep playing. So I decided not to do the operation, and I kind of realized it might be that I won't be able to play anymore, even for fun.
Yeah.
And I was crying a lot. And in the radio, was always this connection with music. And the radio was back, Lost Cause. And this song just made me cry so much.
Damn.
It was such a strong, sad moment for me. And
such an emotional overload with the realization that maybe never basketball again. And damn.
As much as it looks like part of my past, basketball was everything to me. It was always number one in my priorities. And then I got back home and I wrote a song about it. So every time some like hardship comes and a good song or a song come out of it, which I like, it make it a little sweeter, a little better, you know.
Yeah. Which song was that?
Done.
It's done.
Yeah,
okay,
it's the title of my first album. Yeah,
like I said, it's the first connection that I got with your music, and it's fascinating to hear the story behind that song. It's fascinating. It's
actually a goodbye song, a farewell song from me to basketball.
Yeah,
and yeah,
done. Well, it got really emotional really fast.
Now, come on. But we'll have fun here.
Yeah, exactly. So, but okay, that was the reason you got to Leipzig, and then you really started to get.
You see,
deep.
that's what happened when two men talk about emotions. We still cut away to something happier.
We try to. Yeah, we compensate somehow.
Let's do that. I was just.
No, but
realizing that right now.
No, the realization is real and it's good, and I know you. I know that this would happen, and I love it. I love it. But I actually wanted to talk about the musical journey that you started from that point, because then you decided, and okay, now music is my thing. What happened then?
Okay, I'll tell you a little story about the villa, because you're working at the villa now, right?
The villa is like a proper thing now.
Whoever, like, if you don't know the villa, it's a place in Leipzig which they have this open stage for years now. I think it happens for
15 years or something. Years.
I thought maybe more. And it was like 6 years ago, back then. And I used it as my first stage. So
many people told me that this was their first stage. It's so crazy. Okay, continue. It's so crazy to me, everybody.
So I went there by myself, didn't know anybody. Went on stage. The rule is you have to sing 3 songs. No matter what, you can sing, but you have the stage for 3 songs. And it's a nice stage. It's in a basement. It's pretty dark. And people sit and it's quiet, everybody listening. So I go on stage and I play my 3 songs. I calm down, I walk down the aisle. No one talks to me. And everybody talking to each other. So I'm there like the whole evening and I'm by myself. And everybody goes to each other and say, hey, oh man, it was so nice what you did there. And people talking to it, but no one comes to me. So I go back home and my girlfriend asks me like, how was it? And I tell her, I don't think I want to do it. Now, I knew I would be a musician. But I was like, maybe I'll be like a studio musician. I'll just release music. I don't have to perform.
Shit.
And it's every Monday, right? So next Monday is coming and I'm like, I'm either going to go today or
never again.
Yeah. So I went again. The same thing happened again. And it happens five times in a row.
Whoa.
No one told me anything. And then the 5th time, there is a musician in Leipzig. His name is Dulus, you know him?
Yeah.
And when he came there, everybody were like, wow, he's the best. Like, yes, it's doing this like African music, on like in African language and in France and in French and in English, and he like combined it, and he was like the best. We all looked up to him.
Yeah.
And he was the first one who told me like, I really like what you're doing. We should do something together.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. If he says that, so fuck all those guys that never talk to me, you know?
That is crazy.
Yeah, and from that moment, I think I gained maybe more courage, and it was really tough. It was really tough. It was 5 weeks in a row, which I really, I fight through, because that's what I know how to do the best, you know?
But that's wow. Guy, man, wow. That is so crazy to me, because nowadays when you come there, everybody knows you and everybody likes what you do and everybody tells you this.
Thanks.
It's crazy. It's so crazy to hear that you get like there and nobody. What?
Yeah, I went there last week after I haven't been there for a long time, and Fabian told me, one of the guys that there forever, probably from the first day.
From the start, yeah.
He also told me like, "Guy, it's amazing," like, and he said stuff, but the thing he said was like, at the beginning you were like playing music and it was okay. And I was like, no, it wasn't okay, it was bad. Like, to be honest, it wasn't good. But yeah.
But wow.
I don't feel like I reached, you know, like you said, like, now everybody knows me around Leipzig and it's cool, but I still have a long way to go. You know what I mean?
Okay, crazy. But because for me, like when I met you, you were like this big musician who just released his first album and was like really going somewhere. And to hear now this story, because it's so funny, because many other musicians told me similar stories about the villa, that they just came there and didn't know really, and it was really quiet because most of the audience are also musicians, right?
Yeah.
So they're really respectful to each other when somebody's playing, and to get like no response at all must be so devastating in that moment. But you kept going, and that's the impressive part for me, that you really said like, okay, 5 times and still nothing, and then Dolos came in and like gave you the proper words.
This is the athlete attitude that luckily I have, you know.
Yeah.
This work ethics and like keep going and hustle that I owe to basketball.
Oh, crazy.
There is only one way for me. It's like to keep going.
Yeah, just go forward.
If you believe and that's what you feel like you have to do, then no way back.
That's the way,
you know?
yeah.
But if you like stories like this, I have tons of shitty gigs I can tell you about.
I would love to hear them. But actually, we're getting to the point where we'll have to listen to a little bit of what you did and what you're doing right now, for example, and we will cut right to that.
Before my life will fall into a hole, I guess it's time to breathe in. Before my life will fall into a hole, I guess it's time to breathe in. Before my life will fall into a hole, I guess it's time.
So, Guy, I now want to talk to you about your latest album, which is this little beauty called Plastic World. And actually...
It's like a little baby to me.
Yeah. Because actually this album cover is shot by my cameraman, felafilm.art.
Yeah, behind the cameras. You can see him behind the cameras.
Yeah, you can see him behind the cameras. And basically, what do I want to say? Yeah, I want to know what was the inspiration. Why Plastic World?
It's a critical thing.
Because I think of like global warming and plastic trash in the ocean or something like that.
Yeah, first of all, it's open, so you can
interpreted
it. The way, you know, it works for you or for each one of you. And for me, it's like more like about the society. About it's a feeling that I have since I'm a little kid. That like, why? When I was really little, I told my mom once, Mom, I don't want to go to the kindergarten. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to the army, and I won't go to work. So far, I did. What is it? No, because I really questioning like why like this. We say in Hebrew, it's like
why is the
bad
word
translation
like this?
from Hebrew, but why like yeah, like
Okay.
it can have so many different forms.
Yeah.
And I'm really questioning why we work so much. Why do we have to work so many days a week? Like, what happened? People will say it might be like naive or something, but what happened if all of us in the world will have like different like norms, and work will be 3 times a week for all of us, and the rest is family time, is maybe volunteering time, maybe doing something for other people. But we are so drowned with work and with like surviving that we don't really get to think about like, why am I doing it, and is it really what I want to do? We since we're little kids, we have this path that we have to go through. Otherwise we won't succeed, or we won't make it, or we won't be the same as everybody else, which is not easy. And I'm really questioning those topics since I'm a little kid, and as a grown-up person, I still think it sucks.
It's like totally this question, this philosophical question: do we live to work or work to live?
Yeah, and the role that money has in our life, or like
we live in a capitalistic world, so money comes from work, and a few people have a lot of money, and most people have not that much money, and it's a really uneven norm.
Like how much percent of the world holding the 90% of the money in the world, you know? I think it's 1% of the population that holds this like 90% of the wealth in the world, and it's crazy, and it's also, I think it's like manipulated, like cause like why it's like this. We are the majority, and it's like kind of a modern slavery to me. The way the world is going right now, and I'm questioning that, you know, and encourage other people to think about it, and to
think critical about the world and the
but not in a way of just become a negative person and like, why it's like this, I don't like the world, it's not good for me, those guys, and to blame, and just like to try to make the best with our lives, and really to decide for us why we do things. And
have you a way to go around this topic, or like how do you manage?
So far I'm also lucky, you know. So I don't know if I'll have this luck forever, and I cannot say everyone should go this path, because I think I was lucky enough to work with the stuff that were my passion so far. As I worked as a basketball player, it was my passion. I didn't want to do anything else, and now I do it with music. And it's not easy.
It's never easy, no.
But I'm hustling, you know. I'm really wake up every day, and I'm thinking how I'm developing myself with what I want to do.
Well, I was actually impressed when we met at the Wave Gothic meetup in the park, where you came in my vlog, and you just told me, this morning I like recorded 3 songs, and now I'm like outside and enjoying the sun, and I was like, why? How does he do this? Like before, like I'm awake for like an hour now or something, and he already did 3 songs this morning. That was impressive to me.
I really believe that I'm working harder than other people.
Would you call yourself a workaholic?
No, because I think that if I would like reach certain level, I would be fine with much less. I'm just I'm still in this surviving mode that I have to do a lot so something is happening, otherwise nothing is happening. So that's the way I know, like, to work hard, you know, like for other people it's other stuff, but for me it's what always worked for me is like work harder than other people.
Yeah,
getting better.
So and this is like reflected more or less in this album, right?
That's true, yeah. Like if we talk about songs like Plastic World or Wanna Be Free, it's also,
or like a King. It's all like you could see it's really metaphorical.
That's also how I meant it.
Yeah.
Many times, yeah. Yeah, there are some songs which are more, I don't know, maybe positive about, but also Everybody Needs a Hug. It's also critical, like a little bit.
Well, in the end, the people have to listen to it and decide for themselves what they can take away from your music, you know.
And I really want to leave it open for this. Really don't want to say literally word for word what I mean.
Yeah.
I really think that it's, for me, when I listen to music, that's what I do. I don't listen. Also, I don't first listen to the lyrics. I listen to the music, and I hear some words, and I make it my own story. And then I feel like, man, it's what I'm saying, or that's what I'm feeling, and this is like the magic for me in music.
Yeah.
So I'll also maybe try, or I don't come for me naturally to keep it a little open. For the listeners.
This is interesting because for me it's also like I have phases where I'm more keen on the instrumental part and really like feeling the music and the sound, and it doesn't really matter what kind of music, if it's German or English or what else. For example, even if I listen to music in foreign languages I don't even understand, but I feel the music, you know. I get this feeling from the song. And I don't have to know what it is about because I just feel the music. And then I have other phases where I'm really keen on lyrics and really try to listen and really try to get the story behind the song. What is the artist trying to tell me with this, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my personal way of listening to music. I have like these phases, but I think everybody has their own way to dealing with that. But this is what music can give you. And this is what makes music like this worldwide phenomenon, because everybody can understand music, you know.
Yeah.
Music is like this magical language for all of us when we can listen to it and when we can enjoy it. And for me personally, your music is also in this category of just like, I don't always have to listen to the lyrics, but I can feel the songs, you know.
Thanks, man. You put it in most beautiful way. Yeah.
But this is why
but for me, I tell myself now I'm going to listen to the lyrics. After 20 seconds I forgot about it.
No, but I was thinking, especially when I got this t-shirt, for example, you know, it was at your gig at the Moritzbastei here in Leipzig, and it wasn't that big of a gig. I think it wasn't that full as I was expecting, because I was like, oh yeah, now after Corona, finally another gig from Guy. I haven't seen him in so long live on the stage. I want to enjoy this. And it was really chilled, and the people who were there were enjoying it, of course. And I really felt that I was like, yeah, okay, now I have to get the t-shirt. I need this as a reminder, as a little just as a reminder for this nice evening with good music and good people, you know. And this is also something that music can give you, just this experience. And this is something that I would had loved to get into the record release party from Plastic World.
Oh yeah.
But that was packed, man.
Yeah.
That is so crazy, because now that you told me the story about the villa where you were like there 5 times, nobody talks to you. Now when this came out, you were at the NATO, right?
Yeah.
And it was like around the corner there were people standing in line, and
which was crazy to see how many people were waiting in line, and it was super sad to see that they had to go home because it was sold out. But you see, there are ups and downs, and you said about this Moritzbastei gig, I also expected more people, and I was also in between this, like, okay, there's something nice going on here, and like with this feeling of like, where all the people are, you know, like, so yeah, ups and downs, and especially for these times. Yeah.
But this was also a beautiful thing that I think you guys did on the gig, that you came out at the NATO and like checked the lines for friends and greeted people and everything. We're like, yeah, sorry guys, you have to wait a little longer, and we're still sound checking and something. Really, like, I haven't experienced something like that. That was so wholesome for me, you know. Just that the artist came out to the crowd and like told them, "Oh, sorry guys, that we have to."
I really appreciate that people coming to my gigs. I say it like to the camera, you know, like it's really like you write songs at home and you imagine something, and then it happens, and people are coming, and maybe they're singing along, or they dancing, or they just close their eyes, or whatever they do. I appreciate it. It's incredible. Keep doing it.
That's the beauty of it, right? Because that is actually another question I have for you, is the feeling being on stage and having this effect, or having any effect on people in the crowd. How do you manage that? How what goes through your head when you are on stage performing?
Honestly, I don't know, because I don't know if I have effects, or I know, you know what I mean?
I know you have effects, so I just want to...
I'm glad to hear it but honestly, in my feeling, in my mind, unfortunately, probably, I don't know, like, I'm playing the music, I'm really, mostly I'm happy to be on stage, and I'm really thankful. Thankful, it might be the strongest feeling I have to be on stage. And it's a really complicated like theme to talk about, because this range of emotions you have on stage, it's crazy. It goes from feeling really shitty because sometimes your expectations are wrong, or you think it's going to be something, and that's what I'm learning all the time. And I learned lately, like doing, for example, the set list 5 minutes before the show. I'm looking at the room
and try to feel what songs fit.
I just find out about it, like, for myself. I look at the room, I look at the people, and then I'm trying to... So the band can play around like 22 songs, and in a gig you play, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe 14 songs. So I'm trying to find the right songs for the right moment, for the right room. So I don't really feel yet that I'm affecting people maybe the way I would love to inspire people, like in a good way. I hope I will feel it one day, but so far I don't know, I'm still feeling like I'm on my way there.
Okay. Funny, because like I said, for me, when I'm in the crowd at your gigs, you really feel like exactly what you described, like the vibe. Sometimes people are dancing, sometimes people are just swinging a little bit around with their heads. Some people just stand there, just closing their eyes, just listening, really listening to the music. And you have all this little effects, you know. Every person has their own way to enjoy the music at a live concert, you know. And some people are going crazy and dancing and poke and whatever. Yeah. But it's so nice to see that in so many different locations and different ways. And so I can tell that there is an effect, even if you can't really see it from the stage, because you have your mind set for the gig, of course, because you're a professional.
Now, of course, I look at the people, right?
Yeah,
I look at them, and I'm trying to go with them and to find the right like frequency for the moment.
Yeah, and just have little connections now and then.
Yeah, I'm trying to build, of course, this connection, and that's what I'm like. In a perfect world, people will come to the gig and they will go home a little different than the way they came, with something maybe new, or their heart a little more open. And as you say, during the gig, they should do whatever they want. So that's like what I want. I don't want to encourage people to dance if they don't want to dance. I really like to people to do what they feel, which is super hard, right? Because if we go back to talk about like norms, try to do one thing in a room when all the other people are doing something else. It's super
you feel
hard.
awkward,
it's difficult. And but in our nature, we are different from each other, and we feel different from each other. We want to do different stuff from the other people, but it's hard. We always have this society thing, and I'm trying. Of course, I'm also in this metrics. I'm trying to encourage myself among other people to find this little voice and follow it.
Wow. Okay.
I never said it like this. It sounds wise.
Yeah, it sounds good, of course. Could be next song. Actually, this brings us to our sadly last topic, because we're running out of time. But what can you tell me? What is next in the lineup from Guy? What can we expect? What is happening right now?
Yeah.
What will come in the future?
It's a good question because I'm not sure. I'm working on, I think, 15 songs right now, 15 new songs that are almost ready. Still not sure how to release them, what to do with them. I have this idea, share it with everybody who's listening, with you, of course, to release once a month a new song for the rest of my life, basically.
Whoa, okay.
Which would be awesome, I think, like to release once a month a song with a little artwork or a little video and a little story, and so people can follow, and maybe they didn't like the August song, but they will like the September song, you know what I mean? And once a month, same day, to release a song. That's an idea that I have. Not sure yet when will I start, but that's what probably gonna happen, and then I will put them, of course, into albums.
But that sounds nice, because you have like this, always looking forward to, next month there will be a next Guy song. So it's like a little episodic journey for everybody. If they want to, they can get into it.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have it from a band I like. But it's a lot of work, of course. So that's why not a lot of people doing it, because every release it's tons of work, and also it costs money. So I have to see what's gonna happen. But that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on songs, basically.
This is basically your job. You're a musician, right?
Yeah.
Musician
and we're playing.
And producer, and you're producing for other people.
Yeah.
That is also the one little thing that we can get into. For example, your last work, we had it up there somewhere. Yeah. The CD. Who was the last guy who?
The last release was from Falk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Show it. It's nice.
Yeah. Where is it? Ah, there is it. Yeah.
And it's only on CD, by the way. You cannot listen to it in Spotify.
It's not online.
It's not online. Maybe a song or two are online. Good friend, very good friend. I play with him also live sometimes. And we did that here for a long time. It took us a long time, and it's nice. Falk is a good friend from Chemnitz. I met him while playing basketball in Chemnitz, and we did that. Go and bite. We did the album from Amalaya. We recorded it actually when we were still upstairs. Which is beautiful, hard to describe, but we'll say for now world music. Really cool band I got to work with in the studio, so it was a pleasure. A lot of stuff.
So many different people. For example, just when we started this recording, Falco was here, good friend of both of us. And maybe he will sometime in the future come into the studio to record stuff. Yeah, it's hopefully.
It's really a gift for me to be in the room where like new music is captured.
Exactly.
And it's
so like almost
always say
every,
it's a magic.
Like for you like every day you can sit here and have other musicians here, or even by yourself, but you do something. You produce the magic of music. You know, you have this privilege. You could say it's a privilege to have like this setup and the knowledge now that you have accomplished in many years, to now have the opportunity to give other musicians the opportunity to have like good recordings and actually bring their dream of being a musician into life, you know?
Yeah. It's really beautiful moments, and yeah. my thinking.
Yeah, you just I just realized how much you're giving back. You know, that's what I try to say.
They pay.
Well, of course.
No,
but that's not the point. You know, the point is that there's an opportunity.
I'm a little bit hippie in this mindset that I really feel that like the world needs music, and every new piece of music is making the world a little better, I feel. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it's kind of spiritual, but I feel like it's a deep thing to make songs come into lives, because when song is starting, it's an inspiration, and then when it goes to the studio, it might change a little bit, and it's a new inspiration, and then at the end it will meet listeners. Very interesting like process, and I really love being part of it in different roles, you know.
It sounds amazing. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's
come visit
amazing.
me often, man. Like,
I will try. Try. So all I can say at the end is listen to Guy's music, listen to Dan, listen to Plastic Waltz, listen to all the beautiful people he helps doing their music, and as always, enjoy it. And Guy, thank you so much for today. I'm really glad we finally got to do this.
Me too.
And I wish you all the best for the future, and hope that there will be many, many years and months of new music from the Guy.
Thank you so much for being here and for doing it with me.
Pleasure. Okay, guys. We see each other next time. Bye, bye. So Leute, das war das wunderbare Interview mit Guy. Wenn ihr mehr von ihm sehen wollt, könnt ihr hier seinen Kanal abonnieren und ein bisschen seine Musik und seine Videos auschecken.
Und auf jeden Fall auch Lazy Lama weiterfolgen für mehr Videos, für Instagram, für Vlog, auf jeden Fall. Und felafilm hinter der Kamera auch folgen.
Auf jeden Fall. Und irgendwo hier packen wir noch die letzte Podcast-Folge rein, und irgendwo hier kommt dann noch eine Vlog-Folge. Wir sehen uns, Leute.
Danke.